Welcome to the slideshow on problem solving using analytics. The AV is presented by Jitendra Tomar, an academician and corporate training consultant, and is designed at JT Design Studio. Let us explore the topic.
We are absolutely swimming in information. But the biggest challenges we face, well, the solutions are often hiding in plain sight, right there in the data. So today, we're going to build your personal playbook for turning all that raw data into clear, actionable answers. Just think about it for a second. Whether you're trying to figure out how to make a process run smoother, really get what your customers want, or just get a leg up on the competition, the clues are already there. You just need to know how to look for them.
So, why bother with all this? I mean, really, why go through the trouble? Because making decisions based on actual evidence isn't just some passing trend. It's a massive shift in how we solve problems. Let's dig into what that advantage actually looks like.
What's really cool is how these all stack on top of each other. See, it all starts with accuracy. Data helps strip away our gut feelings and personal biases. And once you're more accurate, you naturally become more efficient because you stop wasting time and money on stuff that doesn't work. And when you're consistently accurate and efficient, bam, that's a huge competitive advantage. It's like you start seeing the future before anyone else does.
Okay, every great investigation starts with one single, crystal clear question. Before you even think about touching any data, you have to know exactly what you're trying to solve. Seriously, this is the most important step. Getting this right sets you up for success from the very beginning.
So how do we do that? Well, it breaks down into 3 pretty simple steps. First, you just identify the real issue. What's actually going on? Next, you define the scope. What's in and what's out? You can't solve the whole world's problems at once. And finally, you create a clear, measurable objective. A good objective doesn't sound like, let's improve sales. It sounds like, let's increase Q4 sales by 15% in the Western region. You see the difference there? One's just a wish, the other is an actual target you can aim for. All right, so we've got our question locked in. Step 2 is all about gathering your tools. This is where you collect the raw materials for your analysis, the data itself. And look, it's not about getting all the data in the world, it's about getting the right data. This whole process has a rhythm to it. You'll look for sources inside your company, like sales records, and outside, like market research. Then comes the really critical part. Data cleaning. You have to get rid of the errors, the typos, the inconsistencies. Finally, you get it all organized into a nice structured format that's ready to go. Whatever you do, don't skip these steps. Garbage in, garbage out. Bad data will always lead to bad insights. Okay, the foundation is laid, your tools are all ready to go. Now for the fun part, the detective work. This is where you get to sift through all the evidence, look for hidden patterns, find trends, and uncover the story that data is trying to tell you. So yeah, time to put on that detective hat. We're about to go from just collecting data to actually interrogating it. The goal isn't just to look at the numbers, it's to find the story that's hiding behind them. We'll start with the basics. Your investigation kicks off with 3 key tools. You'll use descriptive statistics, mean, median, that kind of stuff, to get a quick summary. It's the who, what, and when of your data. Then you'll use data visualization to turn those boring numbers into charts and graphs, making hidden trends pop right out. And finally, with correlation analysis, you start looking for relationships. Like, hey, when this thing goes up, does that other thing go down? This is where the first clues start to surface. Now, based on those initial clues, you form a hypothesis. It's just an educated guess about what's going on. For example, we think sales are down because of this new competitor. Then you use your data to really test if that's true. You're basically using the scientific method here to make sure your conclusions are built on solid evidence, not just a hunch. And for the really tricky mysteries, you can bring in some of the heavy hitters. Think of regression analysis like a crystal ball. It uses past data to help predict the future, like forecasting next quarter's sales. Classification models, they're like a sorting hat. They automatically put things into categories, like figuring out which customers might be about to leave. And clustering techniques are like finding the different social circles at a party. They reveal natural groups in your data that you never even knew were there. So let's see how all this awesome detective work actually leads to a real decision. Because, let's face it, analysis is pretty worthless if you can't translate it into action. You've got to interpret the raw results to pull out what they really mean. Draw a firm conclusion that tells the whole story. And then, and this is the most important part, come up with concrete, actionable recommendations. You did it! You cracked the case. But the job's not over yet. The final act, the grand finale, is communicating your findings in a way that is so clear and so compelling that it makes people want to actually do something about it. This is where your analysis becomes action. Your number one job here is clarity. Be clear. You could have the most brilliant analysis in the history of the world, but if your audience doesn't get it, it's useless. So ditch the jargon and make your single most important point impossible to miss. Next up, every single claim you make needs to be backed up by data. You gotta show your work. This is how you build trust. Your recommendations shouldn't sound like your opinions. They should sound like the only possible conclusion based on the evidence. And those recommendations, they have to be actionable. Don't just say, we need to improve marketing. Suggest concrete steps someone can literally take tomorrow morning. Who does what? What's the very first move? This one is huge. Know your audience. An executive team wants to know the bottom line, the impact on revenue. An engineering team, they're going to want to see your methodology. You have to tailor your story to what they care about most. And please remember, a good chart is worth 1,000 spreadsheets. Our brains are just wired to process visual information in a snap. Use simple, clean charts to make your key points pop right off the screen so they get remembered long after the presentation is over. Always, always connect your findings to the bigger picture. Don't just present some interesting fact you found. Explain why it matters. How does this insight help the company save money, or grow faster, or make customers happier? And finally, bring it all home by focusing on the impact. Paint a clear picture of the awesome future that will happen if they follow your recommendations. You haven't just analyzed the past. You've lit up a path to a better future. Make them want to walk down it with you. So there you have it, the complete playbook for turning a fuzzy, messy problem into a clear, data-driven solution. You have the guide. The only question left is, what problem are you going to solve first?